this is Tanu Gupta, Assistant Professor in IT Department in Akgec Engineering College. Today I am going to present a very important topic and related to cyber security, that is cyber crime, and understand what is cyber crime, who are cyber criminals, and how we secure from these cyber criminals attacks to ensure the cyber security. So first we understand what is cyber crime. Cyber crime is any illegal act where a special knowledge of computer technology is required to for its preparation, investigation or prosecutions. Means any illegal act where we want a computer to perform any illegal action to commit a crime for its investigation and execution, it's known as cyber crime. Or in other words, we can say a computer crime, or we can say a cyber crime is any illegal act or a behavior directed by means of electronic operation that target the security of the computer system is known as a cyber crime. Now, what is cyber security? Cyber security is a protection of internet connected system, including hardware, software and data from the cyber attack. What is cyber security? Cyber security is a protection of internet connected system. All the systems that are connected to the internet provide a protection from the cyber attack, including the hardware and software resources of the computer. So a cyber security means, in other words, we can say a cyber security means protecting information, equipment, devices, computer resources from an unauthorized resources, use, disclosure, description and modification and description of the information and data. Almost everyone is aware of rapid growth of the internet, so there could be a chances of cyber crime, cyber attacks, as we all know that from nowadays a cyber crime is running in every part of challenges that we can provide in the cyber security reason. So that is why our cyber security is indeed the protection of interconnected devices and so on. Now, the term which are related to the cyber crime, or we can say sometimes we use the term cyber crime in terms of the term like computer related crime. It can also be a computer crime, internet crime, we can say a e-crime or a high-tech crime. So these are the terms we use interchangeably throughout the syllabus in terms of a computer crime, or we can say a cyber crime. These are the important terms that we are going to discuss in the cyber security or in cyber crime cases. The first term is a cyber terrorism. So first we understand what is cyber. Cyber means a computer. Any crime that is related to the computer or an electronic device comes under the cyber crime. So first one is the term that we are going to use in our in the cyber security. First one is a cyber terrorism. So what is a cyber terrorism? Cyber terrorism is defined as any person or group or organization. Cyber terrorism refers to any person, or we can say an individual person or a group or an organization with terrorist intent. With a terrorist intent means a goal of destroying some information system, organization, or we can say an individual part. Utilizes, assess or aids in assessing a computer or the network is known as cyber terrorism. Any person, group or an organization which has an intended goal to disrupt the information of any computer network or an organization is referred to as cyber terrorism. Next term is cybernetics. Cybernetics deal with the information and its use. Internet is one of the means by which the offender can gain price sensitive information of companies, firms and individual. Bank can lead to the intellectual property crime. Cybernetics are the one who can sell the intellectual property rights like patents, copyright, which can violate the terms according, and that deal with the information and its uses. So these terms refer to our cybernetics. Now the next term is phishing. What is phishing? Phishing is a form of online identity theft activity. Online identity theft activity is referred to as phishing. If we theft from any individual person identity and act be as the same, then this kind of theft is known as phishing. That aims to steal any sensitive information of a person or an organization, to steal their identity, or we can say such as online banking password to retrieve that information, credit card information from the user, etc., by any illegal means. So by using a personal information and performing a theft activity according to that is known as a phishing. Now the next term which we are going to discuss is cyberspace. Cyberspace is what? Cyberspace is a worldwide network of computer system that uses a TCP/IP for communication to facilitate the transmission and exchange of data. Basically, cyberspace is a space where we can use a TCP/IP protocol to exchange the information and data between the client and the server. Cyber squatting. The next term is a cyber squatting. Cyber squatting means registering, selling, or using a domain name with the intent of profiting from the goodwill of someone else's trademark. Cyber squatting means if there are so many brand name, like we can say if we have, for example, a Reebok, a brand name of shoes, and we use that name to increase our profit, to increase our sale by using the same brand name and buying and selling my items in terms of the using the goodwill of that particular name. So this is a cyber squatting. Cyber squatting is a practice of buying domain name that have existing business name. Now the next term is cyber warfare. These type of cyber attacks are often presented as a threat to the military forces. That attack relative to the military forces and the internet has a major implication in the cyber warfare. So these are the basic terms related to the cyber security and cyber crime. Now the information security. Information security protect sensitive information from an unauthorized access. What is the meaning of information security? Means secure the information or data from the unauthorized access. To achieve this, we have to perform the CIA trait, which is one of the most important, we can say, policies to achieve the authenticity of our data. First one is or we can say a CIA stand for, C stand for confidentiality, I stand for integrity, and A stand for availability. So first we understand what is confidentiality. Confidentiality, the term confidentiality means preserving authorized restriction on access and disclosure, including the means of protecting personal privacy and propriety. Confidentiality means preserving an unauthorized restriction, means the information is being confidential. There is no unauthorized access to that information, means our information is confidential. There is no need, there is no other means that can change our information with any illegal means. Second one, integrity. Integrity in cyber security means data is complete, trustworthy, and has not been modified or altered by any authorized means. Integrity is achieved in cybersecurity if our data remain the same that we send from one computer to another computer. There can be no changes in our data. Their data cannot be modified or altered. If we are sending one information from one system to another, then the integrity remains. So this is a second information security measure that we can achieve to achieve the cyber security in terms of cyber crime. Third one is availability. Availability is in information security refer to the ability of authorized user to access and use the data and the system that is used to intended for that use. Availability means an authorized user is able to access the information. There is no one in the unauthorized user that is able to grab that information which can be used for any legal purpose. So information security and achieve in the following ways: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. In confidentiality, the information remain confidential. Integrity, there is no changes in the information. The data we can send, we are going to send, the data is as it is, the receiver can receive. There is no modification and alteration, so that we can achieve the integrity of our information. Availability, only authorized user can use the information. There is no unauthorized means that any illegal person, or we can say a cyber criminal, that use the information of our information that is regarding to our organization. So these are the CIA trait that is used for the information security or to achieve the information security. Now, who are cyber criminal? Cyber criminal involves in such activities. Cyber criminals that commit a cyber crime, and cyber crime which are included in the following activity: that perform the credit card fraud. Also, we can say a cyber criminal, cyber stalking, defaming another using online medium is through internet. That is why a cyber criminals. Gaining unauthorized access to the computer system is also known as cyber criminal. Cyber criminal are the one that performing one of the following activity, or maybe any other else, regardless of these activity: ignoring copyright, software licensing, and trademark protection. A cyber criminal is one who are ignoring the copyright of that or a trademark of that person and using that information for their profit and use, and perform the illegal action to unauthorized access of that particular thing. Overriding encryption and make illegal copies. Perform an encryption. If the information in any information, they can encrypt the data and may be altered, and performing the decryption and making illegal copies of that information. Now, next one, software piracy, stealing another identity. Software piracy is a duplicate copy of that software, and that can be used for their profit, and stealing another identity and act as same, like these are that person who are going to be intuited for the to commit a crime. So these are the activities that involve the cyber crime. Who commit a cyber crime are known as a cyber criminal. So cyber criminal are performing these are the following activity, which can be one or can be in another activity. Now, the type of cyber criminal. What are the types of cyber criminal? So there are type 1 cyber criminal, hungry for recognition. The cyber criminals who are just hungry for recognition. In type 1, type 2, not interested in recognition. Third one, criminals, the cyber criminal that are the insider, or we can say inside the organization or other. Type 1, hungry for recognition. That cyber criminal, they are just hungry for recognition, are the one hobby hackers, IT professionals, politically motivated hackers, and terrorist organization. These are the one who are just hungry for recognition. They don't want any profit and loss, but they are just hungry for their recognition, to recognize that all over the world, and so on. Second type of cyber criminal is one that are not interested in the recognition. They want financially motivated hackers, state sponsored hacking, organized criminal, and also a psychological perverts. Third type of cyber criminal are the insider, disgruntled of former employees seeking revenge. If in any organization who want there is an employee who want to revenge from some another employee, they does not want to harm physically, they are just want to steal the information of that person. So in that terms, there are also a cyber criminals that are the categorized under the insiders of cyber criminal. Competing companies using employee to gain economic advantage through damage or theft. These are also a type of cyber criminal who are just the insiders in any organization, in any other terms. Now the types of cyber crimes. We divided into the cyber crimes into 3 or 4 types of categories. First one, crime against individual, crime against property, crime against society. We categorize the crime into 3 types. The crime that commit a crime against the individual, property, and society. So we can discuss one by one 3 of them. The first one is a crime against individual. The crime that are performed against any individual are categorized under the individual category of cybercrime. What are the crimes that are performed against the individual? Are the phishing, as we already discussed. Phishing is a fraudulent attempt to obtain a sensitive information of a particular individual, or to theft and personal identity of a person and misuse that information to perform any illegal act is known as a phishing. Now, spamming. Spamming is a use of messaging system to send an unsolicited message to a large number of recipients for the purpose of commercial advertising. Spamming is one of the crime that against the individual. Similar message is sent to just 1,000 to 2,000 people just for the spamming, or to advertise a particular product, or to gaining a profiting against some particular product. Now the third one is password sniffing. A password sniffer is a software application that scans and record the password that are broadcasted on a computer or network interfaces. Password sniffing is that we can steal the information of an user ID and password that seem to be a password on a computer or a network. Now, spoofing. Spoofing is what? An example of a spoofing is when an email is sent from a false sender address that ex-recipient to provide the sensitive data. Spoofing is what? When an unauthorized person send an information to the person and want their sensitive information. If the receiver is not in that position to check out that where the mail has come, and they randomly set the personal detail to that unauthorized person, they may use a information to act or perform a illegal activity using that information. So spoofing is a cyber crime that will be performed against an individual. Now, cyber stalking. Yes, cyber stalking is the use of internet or other electronic means to stalk a human. Cyber stalking is just to follow a person or an individual through the internet and watch what they are going to do and where he or she is, and perform any harassment carried out over the internet that he or she can perform. Now, next one is identity theft. Identity theft occurs when someone uses another personal identifying information like their name, their personal details to commit a fraud or the other crime. Data diddling. Data diddling means a type of cyber crime in which data is altered and is entered into a computer system, most often by a data entry clerk or a computer viruses. Data diddling means the changes of information at the runtime, or we are just going to enter the information and perform some tasks. So these are the crime that we are going to deal under the cyber crime against the individual. Now, against the property, credit card fraud, that is a cyber crime against the property. So credit card is one of the crime against the property. Yes, credit and debit card fraud is an inclusive term for fraud committed using a payment card such as credit card information. If anyone is allowed to use a credit card through any information, means that it can be a harm to a person who can randomly, or we can say unintentionally, share a detail to that person and dealing with that. So now the next one is a intellectual property threat. This is also a cyber crimes against a property because it is included to the financial term. Intellectual property theft involves the robbing people of company of their ideas and invention and creative expression. These are related to the financial term, but the intellectual property theft is related to the idea, or we can say innovations, experiments of someone and use and show as these are my experiment. So this also a cyber crime against the property in terms of financial, and this is in terms of creative expression, invention and innovations, which can include everything from the trade secret and the proprietary products and a part of any entertainment medium or any medium, we can say that. Now the cyber crimes against the society. These are the cyber crimes that we are against the society. Cyber terrorism, as we also used the term earlier in the important definitions in the cyber security. Cyber terrorism is the use of internet to conduct to violate, act, result in or threaten the loss of life or any significant bodily harm. Now the next one is a child pornography. This is also a cyber crime against a society. If you see explicit images or video of minor on the web, then this is also a cyber crime. Third one is a webjacking. Webjacking is what? Is simply when someone clone your website and trick you to believe the clone site is yours. Yes, webjacking is one when someone is just to create a similar website of any brand or a popular website and show this is a clone of that website and we are going to use of that website in terms of other, and many other person who are just new to that website are going to use that website and use the resources, and sometimes they want to enter the personal details and maybe an online phishing and these terms of hack to act that like a, then this is a crime of webjacking that is against the society. So these are the type of cyber crime that we are types of cybercrime, which we can categorize into three categories: individual, property, and society. Crime against individual containing yes, phishing, spamming, password sniffing, stalking, identity theft, and data diddling. In crime against property, yes, credit card fraud and intellectual property theft. And in the cyber crime against society includes cyber terrorism, pornography, and web checking, because these cyber crime against the group of person, or we can say a organization, and this cyber crime against a individual, and this is crime against the property. So we can categorize the cyber crime in terms of individual or a group of person, or in the against the property. So that's it for now. In the next lecture, we are going to discuss what are the global perspectives of cybercrime and what are the preventive measure, or we can say a survival method to achieve the cyber security. Thank you so much for now.